Hey guys, Mr. Unlock here, and I have another video for you. Alright, test. Let me sit on this bitch. So in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about a topic that has been bothering me for a long time, which is writer-owned companies versus non-writer-owned companies. Now, what is a writer-owned company? Basically, it is a company that is writer-owned, as the name says. There are many companies out there that are writer-owned. There are many companies out there that aren't writer-owned. And this seems to be the decisive factor for many people. You know, if a writer-owned company, if the company is writer-owned, they automatically assume it's good for the sport. When the company is not writer-owned, it's automatically assumed that it's not that it's not good for the sport. But that's false. It's so false, in fact, it makes me angry as hell. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, writer-owned doesn't mean anything. It can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. Generally, writer-owned is a good thing. You know, you have a person that writes themselves, presumably, cares for the sport, and has a company to back it, which is good. But then you have writer-owned companies that are writer-owned, but the the one writer, or like, that owns the company, just takes all the money, and that's it. I don't want to name any names, but you'll probably know that there is a certain American writer-owned brand that I'm talking about right now that is a prime example of what writer-owned should not be. Now, there are companies that are not writer-owned that do so much for the sport. For example, Flavor. Flavor is not writer-owned at all. I know the owner. He is not a writer. However, he does shitload of stuff for the sport. He invests a lot of money back into it. And, people would still choose a writer-owned company over Flavor. When the writer-owned company might be the company that I was talking about previously, the American one, which basically makes a lot of product that is overpriced, that has, it has nothing to do with the product being advanced. It just overpriced. Sells it on the market, takes all the money, and that's it. Hardly any of the money, any amount of the money goes back to the writers that either write for the company or write in general, and most of the money just ends up in the owner's pocket. Now, this is not just a matter of the American brand I'm talking about. There is a UK brand that is kind of the same. There was a dude that, won a competition, business won, got a shitload of money to start a company, started one brand, then another brand. Basically, didn't make shitty products. No, I can't say that, but basically catered to all the small kids, sold the product, took the money, that was it. So, by no means am I telling you that these companies are 100% shit. No. I haven't been in the skin of these people to really be a judge of that. I'm just judging it based on what I know from the inside of the sport, on what I know about having a company that sells scooter parts. And yeah, take Micro Extreme for example. For the longest time, people have been hating on these companies because they're just so big. But, regarding Micro, they invested money into snow scooters. A thing that is not really a thing yet until Ethic came out with their Aerotic snow scooter, So that just proves that when you have a rider involved with a big company, it can go both ways. It can go to shit, bad gear, or it can go well, Micro. Even though their freestyle scooters have not been that great lately. But still, they invested into the snow scoot, which is an advancement of the sport. So please guys, I beg you, before you buy parts, look at how the company, gives back to the community. Are they sponsoring contests? Are they trying to advance the scooter parts, or are their parts generic? You know, how much are they doing for their own riders? Are they sending their riders to trips, to travel places? Are they coming out with signature parts? And, with this being said, I'm going to talk to you more about Analog and what it is and why I created it, because that's a topic close to my heart. Hold on a second. It's going to get real. Alright, so I created Analog when I was 16 years old. Back in the day, and by the way, I'm going to share some personal stuff with you because I feel like it's appropriate to all these 166 subscribers that I have. I know it's not a lot at all, but hey, it's 166 chances of influencing somebody in a good way, so why the fuck not? Back to the story. I was 16 years old, living in Berlin, Germany. Didn't have shit to my name, really. I was going through a shitty time, I was a teenager. And every puberty is pretty much shit. There's no good puberty unless you have amazing parents that can spot the problems like straight away and take care of them. So I was this 16-year-old kid. I was going to a school in a foreign country, which I didn't really know that well yet. And all I had was a scooter, and for me, a scooter was a way to, blow off some steam and just, survive. And I started riding and mostly working for this one Czech shop, which was trying to battle the monopoly that another big Czech shop had at the time. So I'm working for this dude, right? And I start noticing that so many parts are so expensive. I mean, I didn't have any money, so any part that I wanted to get, I had to work for really, really hard to get from the shop as pay. I couldn't just go and buy wheels, for example. I had to beg the owner to give me some wheels and work my ass off for him so I could really, afford them. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, hey, this is weird. This is not right at all. I bet there's so many other guys like me that have scootering as kind of therapy, as the only way to kind of survive in this world. So I'm gonna make a company that is gonna have parts for everybody, that anyone can ride. It doesn't matter how rich, how poor, what color, what race, what nationality, it doesn't matter. Anyone could buy these parts. And that's where the idea of Analog was born, really. Giving back, trying to grow the sport in a positive way, giving back to the riders, supporting riders even though they're not that good yet, but hey, we can do it, so we're going to support them so they can get better and achieve what they want to achieve in the sport. So that's where Analog was born. Analog is not that big yet. I mean, we have a hard time getting into the US. It's a complicated market. But besides that, we're in most of Europe and Australia, which I think is a great achievement for the company and for the brand. I don't have any employees. It's just me and a few dudes that are helping me out, So it gets kind of tough sometimes to keep, growing the company, keep running it when I have school on top of that, some personal life on top of that, riding, obviously, injuries. That shit is not easy. But I'm still doing it because I want to help you guys out, and I just want my ultimate dream is that, that it won't matter how much money you have. People will always know that even though they're broke as fuck, they can still afford my parts. Now, I'm not saying that all my parts are going to be cheap, because, I don't want to just manufacture parts that are cheap, but I want to make parts that are great, that we can really push the boundaries of design with. And these parts are going to be more expensive, but I'm always going to try and make parts that are, top of the line, the expensive parts, and then the parts that absolutely anyone can afford, so that there is a balance between the two. Now, I'm going to be traveling a lot this summer, so I want to talk a little bit about that as well. I'm going to be going to Barcelona for my second time from the 30th of June until the 7th of July. And we're planning on on doing like a meetup with the homies and with the riders there and with the community as a whole. My buddy Armand, he's gonna take care of that regarding organization and stuff like this. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And hopefully, I can post more details about it soon so we can, hang out and talk about analog and scootering and whatever you want to talk about. Then I come back home for like 3 days. And then on the 10th, I should be hopefully leaving for Australia. I'm waiting to get my tickets, any day now. There I'm gonna be from the 10th until the 31st of July, obviously. So again, I'm gonna be on the Gold Coast, in Brisbane, in Sydney, and in Melbourne. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We're gonna do a meetup there as well. Brad from Scooter Brad is gonna be coming with me as well to Australia, flying out from New Zealand. And really, that is the point of this summer for me, to connect with you guys and to see how well am I doing my job of providing good scooter parts and how well am I supporting the sport, the right people. So please, if you can, come out, meet us, and let's have a chat. So yeah, guys, this has been everything for me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely drop me a comment and tell me, what is your favorite brand? And what do you think about analog so far? Until next time, take it easy, and I'm gonna see you in a week. Bye.